Hi, it's Linda coming to you today from our cabin in the North Woods in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Welcome back to the Daily Dose, where we talk about the energy that is moving through all of us right now and make it useful for real life. No fancy language, just plain talk and real life. In our last chat, we met the most productive thing you can do right now might be to stop energy, and we talked about what it is. So today, we meet the Miss Cranky Pants version of this energy. So let's get started. So when the most productive thing you can do right now might be to stop energy is working against you, you're everywhere and nowhere at the same fucking time. You feel the pressure to be doing something productive, so you start one thing, then another, and then another. Nothing gets your full attention because you haven't stopped long enough to figure out what really deserves your full attention. The restlessness underneath all of it doesn't go away just because you're busy. If anything, it gets louder. This is the scattered version of the Miss Cranky Pants energy in the most productive thing you can do right now might be to stop. Busy, but not focused. Moving, but not going anywhere that matters. And at the end of the day, tired and unsatisfied, having done a lot without really getting anywhere. And oof, do I feel this one. I used to fall into this all the time, but I work on it every day, so it happens less frequently. And there's a second version of this energy. From the outside looks completely different. This version stares down an enormous to-do list and shuts down instead of starting. Too much to focus on something becomes the same as nothing to focus on. You freeze, you scroll. You do the easy thing instead of the right thing because the right thing requires a kind of stillness you haven't given yourself yet. Same restlessness underneath, but a completely opposite response on the surface. One version starts everything. The other starts nothing. Both end up in the same place. Nothing done, tired, unsatisfied with that nagging feeling that you've been busy without being productive. Here's what both versions have in common. Neither one stopped long enough to get clear. The scattered version was outrunning the discomfort. The frozen version was so overwhelmed by it that nothing felt possible. And in both cases, the thing that would have helped, just stopping for a few minutes to let the restlessness settle and some clarity show up, felt like the last thing that made sense to do. If you, like me, have ADHD, the cranky behavior I just described will probably sound very familiar. Not everyone with consistent access to this energy has ADHD, but it can be an indicator of a tendency toward you having ADHD. My son, who, as I talked about in the last episode, does have consistent access to this energy in a big, big way, doesn't have ADHD. But I have consistent access to the most productive thing you can do right now might be to stop energy in a much smaller way, and I have ADHD. That's the Cranky Pants version of this energy in a nutshell. Treating rest like something you have to earn after enough has been done, and spending the whole day doing without ever deciding because you're either scattered or frozen. In our next chat, we talk about what this energy looks like in everyday life when it's working as it was designed to. There's a remarkable difference. I wouldn't miss it. I sure hope you don't. Thank you, as always, for being here. Find your happy, love what you do, and make a difference. Come on back to me safely. See ya.